So you've been researching in the area of cystic fibrosis. What exciting findings have you made so far that you talked about today?
I would say the most exciting finding, which I talked about today, was that dramatic shift in the metabolite profile. As I mentioned, for Ivacaftor, you predominantly have exposure to less active metabolites at steady state in healthy volunteers. And at least we showed in this initial single ascending dose study that for CTP656, it's a predominant exposure to the most active parent molecule, which was contrary to what we saw for the single dose of Ivacaftor, where the predominant exposure was to the less active metabolites. We think this could play out to a potentially more efficacious agent and something that may have less liabilities for drug-drug interactions, and with the longer half-life, improve the patient adherence through single dose daily.
And for our parents and families and people with cystic fibrosis, are you able to explain in layman's terms basically what it is that you're developing and what impact that could potentially have on people with cystic fibrosis?
Okay, well, I think what we're developing is we're using the knowledge that was generated for Ivacaftor, which is a great compound, and it was a huge advance for the cystic fibrosis G551D population. But we're trying to improve it, and what we're really working here is making a better compound that can actually enable combination with other drugs. So we see, and the discussions were on that combinations are the way the cystic fibrosis therapies are moving forward. If we can make an economically viable option for a potentiator to combine with other CFTR modulators, the gene therapy agents coming forward, we think we can offer the patient population more choices. And with more choices, it's a more competitive environment, and that's overall beneficial to the population.
And what are your next steps going from here and the kind of timelines for development of the new treatment?
Okay, as I talked about, we're going to be completing our single ascending, and we've completed our single ascending dose. We're going to be doing our multiple ascending dose. Based upon that, we'll be able to choose a dose or doses to move forward into our phase 2 efficacy studies, which we're planning on initiating in the second half of next year. So as soon as we finalize a clinical protocol with the advisors we're going to be talking with tomorrow, then we should be able to advance the program into patients and see what the effect is.
And if you had to give a ballpark estimate about when this might be available to people with cystic fibrosis in the UK?
I couldn't possibly, but I hope as soon as we can. We think we might have a path forward for accelerated development, and we are going to work very hard to try and get this available to the patients as soon as we possibly can.